What's going on, everyone? It's Sal Warner. How you all doing? And welcome to another episode of Breaking Dawn. We're live. It's Monday morning. Break of dawning. We don't like the Monday mornings, do we? Do we like the Monday mornings? Well, it depends what's going on in regards to Manchester United. Are we going to sign some players this week? Is anything going to happen this week? Are we going to be happy or sad by the end of the week? Loads of news to come in. Manchester United have got a lot of work to do in regards to transfers, of course. Lots of players leaving, lots of players coming in. We hope, of course. But guys, if I could calm down a second, if I could just kindly ask you, you could just smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, please. If you could subscribe to the channel, it'd be much appreciated. Now, Manchester United, of course, are coming to the latter stages of, well, not only Manchester United, a lot of clubs are coming to the latter stages of the transfer window. Of course, it's about to close in about 12 days' time, and we got a lot of work to do. 12 days seems like a lot. It's not actually a long time in regards to the transfer window if you haven't agreed personal terms. Now, Ugarte is the one on everyone's lips. Ugarte could be the name coming through the door this week. I hope that this week is the week finally where we could say, here we go on Ugarte. That's what we really want, isn't it? We want Ugarte through the door. He's a major missing piece of the puzzle for Erik ten Hag. Of course, good morning, Emmanuel. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good morning. Trust you had a wonderful night rest. And how are you? Good this morning? I'm good, my friend. Thank you for asking. Very good. I'm just ready for the big week. Irfan, you old trouble. What's going on, Irfan? How you doing, my friend? Hope you're all doing well. I'm absolutely great. Thank you guys for asking. It's Monday again. Sunday morning, what? We're getting more energy. We'll get more energy as the week goes on, of course, because it is Monday and it is Manchester United week, I call it, because this week is pivotal to Manchester United's transfer window. Of course, Ugarte is the name on everybody's lips. Will Ugarte sign for Manchester United? Ugarte, of course, left out of the side for PSG against Le Havre on Friday it was, and that obviously does tell you a lot about where he is in regards to his commitment to PSG. Ugarte is not committed to PSG. He wants to leave the club. Manchester United is the club he wants to go to, guys. Let me just put my camera a little bit straight for you. There you go. You see, it's not real brick there. Yeah, there we go, guys. Yeah, he's basically he wants to leave PSG, and this week, this Monday, this Tuesday, this Wednesday, this Thursday, this Friday, it could be pivotal in regards to his future at Manchester United. Of course, Manchester United do want Ugarte, and Ugarte does want to come to Manchester United. He agreed personal terms a month and a half ago, so it should have been done by now, of course, but PSG are playing hardball in regards to that. But they're going to have to cave in at some point, because they cannot keep an upset player, a player who's not happy at the club at the end of the day. So they have to think about that on a business perspective. Now, Ugarte, I hope we should hear some news with today or tomorrow in regards to that. Hopefully we get here we go, because the personal terms have already been done. Everything has already been done and dusted, as they say. It's all done and dusted. And Ugarte should be a Manchester United player. I don't know what PSG are playing at. Free Ugarte, as we say in the chat. Free Ugarte. We need him at Manchester United. And I don't know why PSG are acting so stubborn in regards to that. It's just the money at the end of the day. They're trying to get as much money as they possibly can. But as Ineos have proven, they're not going to be mugged off, so to speak. They're not going to be robbed as we were in the past with certain players, of course. Now, I expect some news in regards to Ugarte today or tomorrow. It could be a very pivotal situation today and tomorrow in regards to the Ugarte deal. Ugarte should be done by the end of the week. Listen, it should be done by the end of the week, and we should have him through the door, of course. Emmanuel, we really need Ugarte ASAP. Casemiro can't give the marking energy we need in the midfield. Against Fulham, the midfield was open, and this is a problem that Manchester United have been having in the last few weeks, Emmanuel. This problem is, in the last couple of years, to be honest with you, we attack well, but we're left wide open in regards to counter-attacking. We need to sort that out. We really do. It's been like that for a few years now. The counter-attacking side of things is a problem for Manchester United. We do get caught on the break a lot, and we do need to sort that out, guys. Absolutely need to sort that out, because the counter-attacking it's cost us so many goals over the years, and we need to have someone in there, the enforcer, the shield between the midfield and the defence, who can sweep up whenever we get counter-attacked on. You know, Casemiro can do the job, of course he can, but the problem is it the formation or is it the personnel? What you can say. Are we too gun-ho? Are we too attacking? Or is it the personnel that they do not have the legs? Casemiro, does he have the legs to do the job that Ten Hag requires him to do? I mean, he's getting on a little bit, of course. I don't think he's completely finished. I think he cannot play 60, 70 games a season. In my opinion, Casemiro cannot play 60, 70 games a season, in my humblest of opinions. I don't know how you feel about that. But at the end of the day, we need an Ugarte in there so we can rotate as well. It's not just about whether we need Ugarte, we've got Casemiro. Now, there was talk from Julien Laurent, of course, he's a pundit on ESPN, and also a French journalist, saying that, Manchester United don't need to sign Ugarte because they have Casemiro. Look how well Casemiro played the other day. Mate, the football is about a squad. We need a squad. I don't know whether these guys, I don't know what they're drinking at the end of the day, because at the end of the day, they supposedly have watched football their whole lives, but they speak a lot of rubbish. Manchester United need Ugarte. It doesn't mean we're going to drop Casemiro completely. We can rotate. There is a long season ahead, and we can rotate. Football is about a squad game at the end of the day. Yes, Garrett, good morning. Free Ugarte, free Ugarte. Today, this week is the week of freedom for Ugarte. This is the week of freedom. We're going to get the freedom for Ugarte. Free Ugarte, free Ugarte. Big up Ugarte, Garrett. Yes, my friend, big up. So at the end of the day, Julien Laurent was saying that, Manchester United don't need Ugarte. They don't need him. You know, they have Casemiro. Squad game. Manchester United, during their most successful periods, had a squad. We had Roy Keane. We had Nicky Butt. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not just one player. We don't just need one player and that's it. We play that game, that player, 68 games a season, blah, blah, blah. That's it. Run him to the ground. That's how we do it. I need two midfielders. We do, fan. Are we going to get two midfielders? I don't think we have 70, 80 million to spend on two midfielders. This is the issue with Manchester United at the moment. We don't have the funds to do that at the moment, to have two midfielders. If Manchester United were going to dig into their credit, they would go after someone different in regards to a striker or another left-sided defender, for example. It would be surprising if we got two central midfielders, especially as we have Casemiro as well, Mainu as well. And we also have Toney as well coming through the ranks as well. So, yeah, exactly. Big up yourself, King L. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining me, my friend. Good to see you. Big up, Kenny. How you doing? Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Big up, sir. We need Ugarte, even though I thought Casemiro was decent against Fulham. He was absolutely brilliant against Fulham, Casemiro. But the thing is that he can't do that 60, 70 games a season. And we have to accept that at the end of the day, that he's not going to do that 60, 70 games in the season. And we need cover in regards to Casemiro. It's a squad game at the end of the day, and these players have to accept that it is a squad game. If we're going to be successful long term, we do have to have a couple of players in each position. At the moment, we have Casemiro, and that's it in regards to the holding midfielder role. Mctominay is proven he can't play that role. He's not a central midfielder. He's an attacking player, a false nine, an attacking player, a guy you can throw in at the end to grab a goal. That is what Mctominay is. Bashir, what's going on, my friend? I hope you're doing well. For me, it's the players. We wouldn't be so vulnerable to the counter-attacks if we could stop losing the ball in midfield areas. And that is also a good point, Bashir. One thing I've noticed over the last few years, a couple of years in particular, is that we do give away the ball. We lose possession too easily in the simple things. You know what football's about? Roy Keane once said it. He said, football's about doing the simple things right, doing the simple things effectively. If you could do the simple things effectively, then it helps you in regards to football. When you're losing the ball, putting yourself under pressure, it's a problem, of course, because at the end of the day, it's hard to win the ball back, and it takes up a lot of energy to win the ball back, especially when you've got players like Casemiro. We need players who can keep the ball. This is why I was saying we need to control the game more. And I was saying in regards to Mctominay the other day, yes, Mctominay can score goals, we can throw him on at the end, but it's survival football at the end of the day. We cannot keep playing survival football. We need to keep the ball, we need to learn how to control games, for the longer term, not just for the short term. Throw Mctominay on, last two got a goal in the last minute. We need to move on from that. We need to learn how to dominate games, how to keep control of the game, and by that we need to have the right players in there. At the moment we're giving away the ball far too much. I don't know what's wrong with United sometimes when we do give away the ball. Good comment, Bashir, absolutely wholeheartedly agree with you. Ugarte, Sanderberg in. I think we'll get one of them, Irfan. If it's not Ugarte, it'll be Sanderberg, someone of that nature, or of course Edison, someone of that nature. It won't be both of them. Manchester United will not, and I can tell you right now, will not buy two midfielders now. Sad as it is, at the beginning of the transfer window, I was hopeful that we will bring in a couple of players through the transfer window in midfield, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen at the end of the day. And sadly as it is, but there are other windows to come. There is the January transfer window. We've got next year as well, but we do need a midfielder in, at least one midfielder in. Ugarte looks like being that guy. There's no smoke without fire in regards to that. Lots is going on in regards to Ugarte. Lots of speak. Dropped from the squad for PSG. That's a big thing at the end of the day. That's huge at the end of the day. So I think he is 80% certain to be a Manchester United player. If not, it could be a Sanderberg. It could be Edison coming in, of course. So we'll have to wait and see. In regards to Zubimendi scored yesterday, by the way. Zubi dooby doo, where are you? He's scoring for Real Sociedad yesterday, even though Real Sociedad lost the game, by the way. Just bringing that in for the Liverpool supporters, if they are watching, if they slyly watching the stream. Just bringing that in, that Zubimendi scored yesterday, by the way. He scored a goal yesterday, guys. But yeah, that is all to do with that. But yeah, that's it in regards to midfield. So I am certain 80%. The deal is done for Ugarte. I'm pretty certain about that. Rumours is, word is, people have been telling me it's done, isn't it? You got Ugarte, it's done. I just want him to come through the door. I want the here we go. I want him holding the shirt up. That's what I want, to be honest, guys. That's what I want in regards to that. Kerwin, how you doing, my friend? I hope you're doing well. Good to see you back. Good to see you back. When you are counter-attacking issues, that means someone is losing their shape and discipline in position. Kerwin, yeah, exactly the point I was making. It's the simple things that you do wrong. If you do simple things wrong, you put the team under pressure. Sometimes certain formations need discipline. Exactly, they do. And some players are not keeping the discipline. We've had that problem for a few years. Even under Jose Mourinho, we had that problem. As he mentioned many times in his press conference, players not doing their job, etc. Ten Hag has hinted at that as well. Players need to do their job. He mentioned it a couple of times last season, that players are not doing their job, players are not tracking back. And that includes the wingers as well. Wingers need to track back. Marcus Rashford, etc. need to track back. Big up, Abdullah. How you doing, my friend? Thank you so much for joining me, guys. Thank you very much. You are absolute legends this morning. It's Monday and we're here to brighten up the morning. It's a big week ahead for Manchester United, of course. Massive week ahead. We don't want to leave the transfers till the last minute because that leaves us in a bit of a spot of bother in regards to integrating them into the squad, integrating them into the team. We need to get these transfers done early. We got a few done, which is fair play, but we haven't got all the transfers done. That midfield should have been sorted out by now. I believe that midfield should have been done and dusted by now. But hopefully, better late than never, we get it done this week. Next week is late. We cannot do it too late at the end of the day. So this week is pivotal if Ten Hag wants to integrate Ugarte into the team and at least have Ugarte on the bench for the Brighton game. That's what I want to see. I want to see Ugarte on the bench on Saturday. That's what I want to see. And hopefully it will happen. We have to keep our fingers crossed that PSG take their heels out of the sand and just do what's right for Ugarte. It's a democracy at the end of the day. That's what we need to remember. Irfan, Branthwaite, Liverpool is a target today. What Everton will be now. At the end of the day, I'm a big fan of Branthwaite. I'm going to mention Branthwaite as well. Manchester United is still in for Jared Branthwaite, but the price is a lot of money still. 50, 60 million at the moment. Manchester United can't afford Ugarte, so they need to obviously think about Branthwaite. How are they going to get Branthwaite through the door if they can't even get 50 million together for Ugarte? Now, Ineos do have a kitty, a credit that they can use on players. At the end of the day, they have a kitty that they can use on a striker, on a defender if they so wish. So that is to be bared in mind at the end of the day. Manchester United, the reason they're taking their time on Ugarte is that They do not want to be overpriced in the market, and Ineos will not budge on being overpriced. At the end of the day, they will stick they will stick their feet in the ground as well in regards to that. So we got two teams who are sticking their feet in the ground, and we're going nowhere at the moment. But we hope one of those feet get loose a little bit. We get loose a little bit, guys. So in regards to Scott McTominay, there was rumours that he was going to Napoli. People saying it's confirmed. It's not confirmed yet. Fulham have come in for another offer in regards to Scott McTominay. Of course, that has happened the last 24 hours. Scott McTominay was happy to go to Napoli, agreed terms with Napoli, but Fulham have looked and it gave them a little nudge. And hopefully Fulham could give more money. It's all about the money. It's all about the Skrilla. That's all it's about at the end of the day. And if they can offer more money for Scott McTominay, we take that at the end of the day. We need the money, guys. We do need the money. And if Scott McTominay goes to Fulham or he goes to Galatasaray, Fenerbahce, Napoli, we don't really care as long as he leaves and gives us the money. That's all we care about at the end of the day. But Fulham have come in with another offer. Hopefully they are serious, because they are delaying us somewhat. Napoli cannot afford Scott McTominay right now. They do need to sell a couple of players. Of course, Napoli lost yesterday 3-0 to Verona. So looking at it from a distance, they probably need McTominay more than Fulham. They looked dreadful under Antonio Conte yesterday. They looked absolutely, basically off their feet. They looked yesterday. I was watching the game, and I thought I was very disappointed in Napoli. Napoli are not the same side as they were at the end of the day. At the end of the day, mate. At the end of the day. Big up. So how can you be a Branthwaite fan? The dude isn't even worth 25 million. Just because I'm a Branthwaite fan, Mark, doesn't mean that I don't rate it. Doesn't mean that I think he's worth 60 million. I'm a fan of Branthwaite, been a fan of him since PSV times, etc. So I'm a big fan of his. I don't think it's a finished project. No, he's not 60 million. Tops 30, 40 million with incentives, I think. That's my opinion. But as we know with Everton like to overprice players. I'm a fan of Everton because we need a left-sided centre-back to cover Licha Martinez. Branthwaite wouldn't be a first-team player. He'll be on the bench. The thing is, we're not going to pay 60 million, 70 million for a bench player. Ineos rate him, they rate him, and they've obviously been in for him. We've agreed personal terms with him, which shows that we were in for him. So at the end of the day, I trust Ten Hag, and I trust that he rates him. I rate him. I think he's a good player, but he's not at the level that we need yet. We have Licha Martinez, right? We have Licha Martinez, and he's in the team right now. So at the moment, we cannot afford 60, 70 million for a bench player. And he's not 60, 70 million anyway. We know that. We know Everton like to overprice players. We know they're rubbish, in regards to pricing players. English players are notoriously overpriced. You get the Premier League tax. You get the English-British tax as well. So we're not going to sign that player. We can't afford it. If we cannot get Ugarte through the door, how are we going to get Branthwaite through the door as well? I believe we'll get Ugarte, and hopefully something else happens as a bonus. Hopefully we need a left back. I don't believe in Luke Shaw anymore. I don't think Luke Shaw's there anymore. We'll have Harry Amas, and we have another left back. That's what we need. I can't trust in Malacia and Shaw anymore in regards to that. Everton can't sell a player to Liverpool. They won't sell a player to Liverpool, mate. It won't happen. If it does, then that'll be a problem for Branthwaite, of course, because when he goes back to Anfield, when he goes back to Goodison Park, should I say, it's going to be a big issue for him. Manchester United is bad enough. When you go from Everton to Manchester United, that's on the edge a little bit, because it is Merseyside, they are Scousers. It is on the edge, and Rooney did get a lot of abuse. But Liverpool and Everton is different kettle of fish, mate. It's like Man United and Liverpool at the end of the day. It rarely happens. Unless it goes indirectly, you go to another club first, spend a couple of years at that club, then go there. It's like that, to be fair. So, what's up with Lindelof? Lindelof is on crutches. Mate, Lindelof, right? You know what? He needs to put a neck brace on or something like that, just to make it more realistic. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, look, I'm not going to say anything sinister, Garrett. Look, I don't want to throw out rumours out there. But it seems a bit of a coincidence that every time the transfer window comes around, that we get these players on their crutches. We get they don't want to leave the club. They're hanging on for dear life. They're hanging on for their dear life at the end of the day. It's so funny at the end of the day when I saw that picture, because the way he had the crutches as well, it was like loosely. It wasn't even like proper convincing that, oh, my leg, oh, you know, that little limp that he does. A bit like Saka does when he pulls up a stinker for Arsenal and he does a limp. A bit like that, to be honest. Mark, so I can't spoil the Branthwaite claim. Never want to see that waste man. Mark, goodness me. Mark, I once done a song, right, called Waste Man in Leighton, because I'm from Leighton in East London, Leytonstone, and there was a guy who was hating on us. And I actually had threats, like, put through my letterbox, like, bad threats. I'm talking death threats and stuff. And from this one guy who was a hater. And we called it the Waste Man in Leighton, the song, and it went viral. It was madness, man. They had to remove it from the internet because it was so bad, man. Waste Man Branthwaite. Waste Man Branthwaite is his new nickname. Waste Man. I just haven't heard that. That word is just such a strong word when it comes to describing someone. It's like waste man. Why are you waste man? There's a lot of waste mans in our fan base, by the way. Lots of them have big platforms and little brains. Unfortunately, there is a lot of waste men in our fan base. When on this stream, we've got a lot of intelligent people, and you can't get away with nonsense. You can't get away with nonsense on here. No chance at all. No chance at all. So anyway, let me finish that. Never want to see that waste man United get the greedy man's 160k a week for what? He is not even top 20 in Europe. No, he's not top 20 in Europe. I agree, Mark. He's not. He's a potential, and we shouldn't be paying 60, 70 million for potential. Agreed. As you said, 25, 30 million is the key. That is how much these players. Big up and to the chat and Sal. Big up to Mark, my brother. Hope you're doing well, mate. Link up soon, man. If we win a title, link up soon, man. Definitely. If we win a major trophy, link up soon. The whole chat, Mark, everyone, we get together, man. We have a party. It'd be brilliant. Can we get a left-footed fullback this summer? Mate, we got Licha Martinez. This is the problem at the moment. Manchester United are not going to pay ridiculous amounts of money for a left-sided centre-back, although we do need one. I feel that we need a left-back more. This is why I was such an advocate for Kadioglu, because Kadioglu could play left-sided centre-back, left-back, left wing-back, left midfield. Goodness me, he's even played central midfielder. The guy's an absolute genius at 23 years old. And I said we should be going after that player. 23 years old, we should be signing that player. But at the end of the day, it is at the end of the day about finances. If Mctominay leaves, that would free us up open for transfers, of course. Money coming in, that's what we need. We need money coming in, of course. Mctominay, is it Fenerbahce, Galatasaray, Napoli? Is it Fulham? You know, at the end of the day, we just want Mctominay to leave. One thing's for certain, Mctominay should be leaving the club this summer. I hope so. At the end of the day, I do hope so. By the way, big up, Bigera Prita. I didn't mention your name, bro. I'm sorry about that. Big up. Mark, Branthwaite gives me Maguire vibes, and I still think Maguire is better than Branthwaite. Goodness me. Oh, good. Is that possible? I don't know. He's a young player. As I said, I don't diss young players. At the end of the day, we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see at the end of the day. If he goes to Liverpool, we'll hate him. You'll hate him even more, I suppose. We would. He'd be more than a waste man. Do you know what I mean? Be a waste man in Liverpool. That's even worse. You know what I mean? Could be worse. Could be Scouse eating rats in your council house. Yes. Could be worse. Could be Scouse eating rats in your council house. That is Liverpool. Yes, my guys. Yes. Thank you for joining me. Kadioglu, definitely we should sign. Absolutely, Kenny. How you doing, my friend? By the way, I didn't say good morning earlier. Say good morning to every single one of you. I hope you're all doing well and everyone's feeling fine and dandy. Everyone's feeling fine and dandy. We have to be appreciative of our health, that we can sit here and talk about football and enjoy each other's company. Absolutely brilliant. We should sign Kadioglu. Absolutely. I'm a big fan of Kadioglu. I'm a fan of Branthwaite, by the way, Mark, but obviously I'm not a fan of 60, 70 million. As you said, 25 to 35 million for me, I'm a fan of. I wouldn't be happy if we spent 60, 70 million on Branthwaite. I wouldn't. And I think Ineos are right to reject that stupidness, to be honest with you. But I do think he's a good player. Good morning, Mawaya. How you doing? I hope you're doing well. Good to see you back again, Mawaya. I hope you're doing well. So I'm late today, not having it. There should be a sin bin here. There should be a sin bin on my chat. I need one. I do need to create a sin bin. I'm going to create a sin bin very, very soon, of course. And there are going to be sin bins. If you do come up with a nonsense, like the other day when someone said, I have never heard of Jaap Stam. Imagine that. That is one of the worst blasphemy. Blasphemy. That is one of the worst things I've ever heard a Manchester United fan ever say. I've never heard of Jaap Stam. What the hell? You never heard of Jaap Stam? My goodness. Are you mad? Are you mad? Are you mad? What's going on? Yeah, in regards to even Toney. Now, look. There are some stories that are out there that are there to cover news, and they're just there to be put there for just distribution, for news to come in. And at the end of the day, I always report these things I hear, because I do hear other channels talking about it. I do hear news outlets talking about it. Even Toney's not coming to Manchester United. Manchester United cannot afford even Toney right now. The price tag is absolutely ridiculous. The wages are absolutely astronomical, ridiculous, I would say, as well. $250,000 a week on even Toney. It's absolutely ridiculous. We have to be realistic when it comes to targets in regards to Manchester United. Even Toney is not one that is going to be coming to Manchester United. He's 27. He doesn't fit the Ineos mould. He's going to want $250,000 a week. That is too much money for Manchester United to have. And we got Xerxes. We got Xerxes. Big up Xerxes. Lies around me, how you doing, my friend? I hope you're doing well. I like Toney, but 100 million, sorry, no, 40 million maybe. Even that, to be honest, mate, he wants $250,000 a week. We have to look at the wages as well. That's a lot of money for a guy who plays for Brentford at the end of the day. We have to look at that, right? He's never played at the elite level. I like him as a player. I think he's a good player. But at the end of the day, I don't think he's a £100 million player. I don't think he's a £250,000 a week player. I don't think he is at the end of the day. And at the end of the day, stats will tell you that. And at the end of the day, I don't think we should be looking at that right now. We should be looking at other players in other positions that we need more priority in. At the end of the day. Guys, what do you think of Evan Ferguson, by the way? Manchester United still in for Evan Ferguson. Don't think he's going to come this summer, probably next year, maybe. You never know. There's lots of debate around Evan Ferguson, of course. You're another young player. Ugarte, as I said, my way, we're waiting on PSG. PSG are not budging in regards to Ugarte. Manchester United 41, PSG 51 million, 50 million odd. So Manchester United are not budging in regards to that. Hopefully, it should be done Monday, Tuesday, today, tomorrow. By the end of the week, we should have news. I really want this deal to be done this week. I really do, because I want him on the bench against Brighton and Hove Albion. I think he can be on the bench, Brighton and Hove Albion. If we get a move on, if we agree personal terms with Ugarte, we can have him on the bench against Brighton and Hove Albion. We can. And that would be good. That would be a good boost for the team, a good boost for the squad. We do need Ugarte, very important to our midfield. People saying, Julian Loren, as I was saying earlier, was saying we don't need Ugarte, blah, blah, blah. Listen, football is a squad game. We have 60, 70 games a season, and we do need to rotate sometimes. Casemiro played well at the weekend, he did. But Casemiro can't play 60, 70 games a season, especially the way we play. We do play a high line, we do need light to press, and we do get countered on sometimes. So we need a player who's got legs, proper legs, who can go on for 60, 70 games a season, of course. But in regards to Ugarte, should be a Manchester United player this week. Very hopeful, 80% sure. Big up the Sniper Man. I haven't seen him for 2 days. Is he okay? Is Sniper Man okay? Have we got a contact for Sniper Man? We need to see if he's all right at the end of the day. We do need to see if he's all right. We did lay in on him the other day. We did. Hayden, that Dutchman was the best defender we've ever had. Thank you very much, Hayden. I agree. I think he's one of the best. Probably, definitely the best in the last 30 years. Jaap Stam was a monster. Jaap Stam was a leader. Jaap Stam, if you watch his interview on, I don't really watch Simon Jordan much, but there was an interview on YouTube now. I suggest you watch it. Simon Jordan and Jaap Stam, an interview that happened this last week. Watch it. It's very, very interesting. It gives you an insight to Jaap Stam and his personality. Jaap Stam is a very humble guy. He comes from humble beginnings. Obviously an engineer and staff electrician. His family. He comes from that background. And Jaap Stam was a surprise. And Jaap Stam, when he played for Zwolle in Holland, was close to not even making it as a professional footballer. They didn't believe in him at that time. And he built himself up, worked very hard, and ended up playing for PSV, ended up playing for Holland, and then ended up playing for Man United. Of course, he nearly signed for Man United the year before, in 1997, I believe it was 1997. He nearly signed for Manchester United before the 97-98 season, the season that Arsenal won the league. But he said himself he wasn't ready and wanted to go the next season. Maybe that was the best choice he ever made. He ended up signing for Man United the next season. And then 98-99, we ended up winning the treble, of course. Jaap Stam is one of, if not the best defender we've had in the last 30 years. I think he's better than Ferdinand. I think he's on par with Vidic. Vidic was brilliant. I think him and Vidic were brilliant. But my favourite is Jaap Stam. My favourite is Jaap Stam. Because I felt like Jaap Stam was slightly harshly treated in regards to the book. The semi-autobiography in regards, I felt he was harshly treated in regards to that, but a very, very good player. And I miss him. I do miss a lot of those players. They're absolute ballers. As I said, the only player I feel who would get close to that right now is Licha in regards to defensive. 250 million, so he did not do that, if not 250,000 a week on Toney. Yeah, he wanted 250,000 a week. Ugarte, we need him for sure. I think we would get him, and Sancho going the other way. That is very subject. At the end of the day, Sancho looks to be bleak at the moment. He's not in a rush to leave. It's going to be difficult to get him to PSG and doing a swap deal. I think that would kill two birds with one stone if we did do a swap deal. I just can't see it happening. It looks likely that Sancho will stay at Manchester United for the season. Whether we like it or not, at the end of the day, Sancho is not in a rush to leave, and we can't force him out the door. This is the problem with swap deals. We can't force players to leave, and it's going to be an issue. It can still happen. There's other deals on the table. There's a loan with an obligation to buy as well. But PSG are holding that for a cash fee, and that cash fee is 50 million. Manchester United are 41 million, so we're like 9 million off. So what we do is with that, we need to get a move on. I want this deal to be done this week. I want him on the bench against Brighton. I'm 80% sure the deal will be done. It's nearly there. Agreed personal terms already a month ago. So I'm pretty certain that the deal is going to happen. I'm pretty certain we're nearly there, to be honest with you guys. Eliza Rami, Stam was one of the only players Fergie regretted selling when he sold him to AC Milan. Fergie was, I mean, at that time, Fergie was very an emotional guy, man. He was a hard man, you know, at the end of the day. I felt he was a little bit cold with Stam, although the comments in his book, I've read his book, he set himself up for that. He shouldn't have said the things he said about tapping up. He shouldn't have done, but at the same time, I felt he should have been given a warning. Stam didn't have to leave the club at the end of the day. He didn't. He was told that he's being sold to Lazio. They've accepted a fee. He didn't have to leave if he didn't want to, but he left because he felt unwelcome at that time. He went to Lazio, of course. Great Lazio time at that time. Very good team at that time. They had, of course, Crespo, exactly Simeo. Was it? Didn't they have Mihailovic, players like that? So they were a very good team back then. Veron, they were a very good team, and I just felt like he was harshly treated, but he went on to great things. He won the Champions League again, didn't he? He done well for AC Milan. He's a legend. The one thing I would say about him is that the bitterness side of things, he picked Van Dijk as he's better than Vidic in his best defenders in the Premier League history. That I didn't like. I didn't like that. Watch the interview on Simon Jordan. He's got the interview up on Stam. It was last week. It's very interesting. It's very insightful in regards to that. And I did like the interview. I did at the end of the day, especially Man United. But I didn't like that he picked Van Dijk over Vidic. I have to disagree with that. He probably picked Van Dijk because Van Dijk is Dutch. I just have to say that. He won the league every season. He was there. He was better than Vidic. Stam was a legend. Hayden, absolutely, I agree with you, my friend. Stam, those who witnessed Stam, I was excited to sign Jaap Stam. Brilliant player. Brilliant player. It was just a solid as a rock. Solid as a rock. Absolutely. Him and Vidic are my two favourite defenders in the last 30 years. Of course, I got a lot of love for Steve Bruce. I've got a lot of love for Gary Pallister, Ronnie Johnson, Henning Berg, David May. All these players who played for Manchester United over the years, I've got a lot of love for. The only one who comes close to them these days is Licha Martinez. He's the only one I look at and I think, yeah, He's the man. He's the one who would have went. He's got the personality to be in a Sir Alex Ferguson team. He's the only one. But Jaap Stam, yeah, mate, absolutely, absolutely. Mawea, yesterday City players sub Foden, Walker, Ake, Stone, Nunes, Grealish. Imagine United player on the bench. I know, this is the difference, mate. This is the thing that's annoying. You know, they've cheated their way to where they want to be. 115 charges. They've got their structure already set up. They've already got their academy and everything. They've already got the setup is already there. They've been given a stadium. Now they're bringing the rules of FFP. Now they're bringing the rules of FFP when other teams have money. They don't want teams to challenge Manchester City. Manchester City are already there in regards to their squad. They're okay. They're good. They're okay on FFP. But they cheated and they got 115 charges. Let's hope 137 charges, Kenny. Exactly. Let's hope that these charges do get what's coming to them. Justice will be served in regards to Manchester City, should I say. In regards to Manchester City, justice will be served. Definitely, we need to take them to trial. And we cannot accept this. If they're deducting points from teams like Leicester City, right? If they're deducting points that teams like Leicester City have no money, then what's the point? My opinion on FFP is flawed because it encourages teams to sell their best young players. It encourages them. How is FFP a good thing? At the end of the day, they just needed to use their common sense. That's all they needed to use. FFP is not going to harm Manchester City at the end of the day. Kenny, it's a 31 charges, definitely. Lies around me. Can't believe the UK don't give Stam the respect he deserves. In Europe, they rely on and respect him. Mate, at the end of the day, in Great Britain, in the United Kingdom, being born and raised in the United Kingdom, Manchester United players have never been rated. Of course, we were dominant for so many years, but at the end of the day, they're like Men in Black. They got the thing and they just go, forget the history. Forget the history. In regards to Manchester United, that's what they want. They want you to forget. They want to rewrite history in regards to Man United. They forget we dominated football for 20 years. 25 is a bit much. 20 years we dominated football. And they forget that. It's the narrative that they want to set. Steve Bruce never got an England cap. Steve Bruce once scored 16 goals in a season from defence. Man, and he never got an England cap. But you got players like Steve Howie who had England caps. Do you know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Keown, who had England caps. You know, and players like Steve Bruce didn't get an England cap. That shows the hatred for Manchester United. They hate Man United because we are the pioneers. They should be thanking Man United for putting the Premier League where it is today. But they always want to downplay our players. Jaap Stam is not in the top 5. Yet Nemanja Vidic, even though he won Player of the Year, the only defender to win the PFA Player of the Year, of course, he's not good enough. He's not good enough. Rio Ferdinand, not good enough. No one mentions Dennis Irwin. No one mentions Gary Neville. They're not good enough. Arsenal players are better. Man City players are better. You know, and this is the whole narrative that they set every single time in Manchester United. They never put our players in the top 5, in the top 3, and even in the top 10. They don't even put us in. Eric Cantona. Eric Cantona's better than Dennis Bergkamp. When do you ever hear Eric Cantona, what a genius he was? When do you ever hear it? You don't hear it, do you? They don't talk about Eric Cantona as this maestro, as this guy who nurtured the class of '92 to what they become today. Sir Alex Ferguson would tell you that the big reason that class of '92 reached the potentials that they did was because of Eric Cantona. Eric Cantona left because he knew that class of '92 were good enough. Goodness, you get me in on one, man. You get me out. Trust me. Jaap Stam was such a brilliant player. Absolutely, Kenny. Absolutely brilliant. Hayden, the way we lock up top strikers up was crazy. The way he would lock, yeah, mate, it was too strong. I mean, I'll bring back the Inter Milan game from the 1999 season. And I remember when Zamorano came up against the great Ivan Zamorano, of course, Chile international. Fantastic player, right? I mean, back then they were ballers, right? Proper ballers. And Stam would stand there with his chest out, and Zamorano would lean into Stam, and Stam just went buff with his chest, just buff. And Zamorano was look at him like this, he would look at him like that. And that's when you knew we're gonna win this time. That's when you knew we're gonna win this time, because Jaap Stam, it was just a monster, an absolute monster. Hey Mac, how you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Brian, how you doing? Well, Man City should lose all their titles and relegated 4 leagues. They did it to Juventus. They should do it to Manchester City. There's no excuses. If they're deducting Everton 10 points, what they're going to do to Manchester City? 115. Exactly. You know, 1,000 points. At the end of the day, that's down to National League, mate. Even lower. You know what I mean? They got to punish them. You know what? I feel like a lot of these Manchester City fans are being a little bit confident, overly confident. If that was me, I'd be like, do you know what? We got to be careful here. Something could happen. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely. Kenny, we need to prove these fraudulent pundits about them calling De Ligt Dutch Maguire. You know what? Do you know what? It just annoys me that their lack of ball knowledge. It doesn't surprise me, to be honest. It's been over the years. Their lack of ball knowledge is absolutely terrible. I saw Flex on TalkSport the other day, and fair play to Flex. He did give a great argument in regards to the biasness of the bias against Erik ten Hag. He was shouting to the guy. I think he was an Arsenal fan, and he was going, "Oh, but Erik ten Hag came 8th." So Flex, and you know, but he came 8th. It doesn't matter if he won a trophy. He came 8th. So Flex said to him, "But Arteta came 8th twice in a row. That's different. You could see he played. You could see he started football, didn't it? But he came 8th and didn't win a trophy. What are you talking about? He came 8th and won twice. This is what makes me laugh. The double standards, the hypocrisy. I mean, you just stick to your 0 trophies, mate. You stick to your 0 trophies. We don't want your 0 trophies. We'll take trophies every single day of the week over your little PR with no distribution 2nd place. At the end of the day, with your light bulb. Light bulb. Look at this light bulb and your facelift. Forget Arteta, mate. Overrated. These guys, these Arsenal fans are getting giddy already. They're on TalkSport trying to make a point about coming. They came 8th twice. And the funniest thing is in the world, the funniest thing is that we had reasons for coming 8th. We had off-field issues. We had the Rashford, the Sancho, the Greenwood, the Maguire, the Anthony issue. We had the 60-odd injuries, record amount of injuries, 40-odd centre-back partnerships as well. And media biased against him. Referee and VAR decisions against us. It's been ridiculous. We've had everything against us, and he still managed to win a trophy. And then you're talking about Arteta, who would probably cry in his car if he had the problems that Ten Hag had. It's a joke the way they talk about our players, our ex-pros, our legends like Jaap Stam. And one thing that annoys me the most is people like Gary Neville. Gary Neville, I know you're humble. I know you want to be humble. But if someone criticizes you, if someone's saying that you're rubbish, bring up, be a little bit arrogant. You have to be. Because at the end of the day, these people love to downplay our legends. These people love to downplay our legends. You know, they don't understand how good we were. Manchester United was slap up that Manchester City. Manchester United of 98, 99, 2008 would slap up that Man City. Even 1994 Manchester United would slap up that Man City. You don't know how good that Man United team was. Jaap Stam, there's not one defender in the league who can lace Jaap Stam's boots right now. None. Not even Vidic. And there's no one who can lace Vidic's boots, Ferdinand's boots, Bruce's boots, Pallister's boots, Ronnie Johnson's boots, even flipping Henningberg's boots. No one can lace those boots of our legends, man. They drive me mad. Mark, Ed Woodward, John Murtu, Rich Arnold, and Colette Roach. They are the ones who screwed up, man. They screwed us up. United, you screwed United up. The ones who ran us into the ground, not the Glazers, they just figurehead owner. Yeah, they're absolutely incompetent. They didn't know what to do. They would go after a player, spend the whole summer chasing one player, saying we're not going to pay that much, we're not going to be held to ransom, and then they end up paying the money anyway, making themselves look like clowns. In fact, end up playing double the amount the player's worth. They're clowns at the end of the day. They're incompetent. They're just bankers. They don't know how to do their job, and they run us into the mud. The Glazers are silly for employing such idiots in one thing, and the Murto and Arnold and Co. and Woodward were absolutely rubbish at their job. They were at the end of the day. Kenny, Arteta came 8th twice. These lot have no short mate. They came 8th twice, but you know what? When you say that to them, they say, oh, but style of play. Oh, but style of play. You could see where Arsenal were heading. You could see that their style of play. You could see. It's rubbish. At the end of the day, they're talking rubbish. Arsenal have always been a decent football team on the eye. But at the end of the day, Arsenal lack punch. They don't have punch to get over the line. They don't. They pass around the box. If you can cope with that, they pass around the box. Bloody hell, Saka is a glorified Aaron Lennon, for goodness sake. He's a glorified Aaron Lennon. The guy's overrated. These players are overrated, mate. When I think about wingers, and I think about David Beckham, I think about Ryan Giggs, I think about Cristiano Ronaldo, I think about Andre Kanchelskis, I think about Lee Sharp. For goodness sake, these players can't lace their boots, and they're making these players, putting these players on the pedestal. But when they come up against Spain, when they come up against France, when they come up against these teams, they can't do nothing. You know what I mean? And that's the whole issue with it. They don't know what, they ain't got the quality. Big up, Brian, big up, mate. Big up. Mate, I get passionate about these people, these new school fans. No, they have no ball knowledge. Do you know what? When I first started supporting Man United, I took the time out to study the legends. You know what I mean? I took the time out to look at these great players. I would never say in a million years that George Best was overrated. George Best was one of the best players of all time, and I know it. Not 75% of George Best's career wasn't even caught on camera, and we still know he's one of the best. These guys, they got mirrored blink. They go through a tunnel like this, and they don't want to look what's behind them. They don't want to look, and they just want to criticize and rewrite history. I'm on the belief that they want to destroy Man United's legacy. They want to erase Man United from history. I'm of that belief that they just want Manchester City. I'm of that belief that they want one Manchester club. This is what I'm thinking. I have this feeling, you know, because they never want to say good things about Man United. We caused these people a lot of pain over the years. Let's be honest. We caused these fans, these new school fans, and these fans, when they were kids, they were crying at Old Trafford. You know, they were crying when they used to get slapped up with tears coming in their eyes. They're still haunted by those days. They're still haunted by those days. No wonder they hate us. Ryan Giggs from the halfway line takes on the whole Arsenal team with 10 men and smacks it into the top corner against David Seaman, another player who's overrated, David Seaman. Naeem from the halfway line. Naeem from the halfway line. David Seaman couldn't catch a beach ball, mate. When you needed David Seaman, he's nowhere to be found. He's nowhere to be found. Forget that, man. They're overrated. They overrate the Arsenal players. They overrate the City players. They overrate the Liverpool players. But when Man United said, I think they were a little bit, they were a little bit rubbish. I think they were like, you know, I didn't think they were that good. You know, big up Sam. Big up yourself. Let me have a look. Even Martinelli's right. Martinelli's overrated, mate. They compare him to Garnacho, mate. No, Garnacho's generational. The Glazers have a history of running the business into the ground. Look at Jim and basically running the business on his 27%. Yeah, exactly. There you go, mate. We've had amateurs in charge of Manchester United for too long now. The Glazers have been amateurs at the end of the day. Jim Ratcliffe's a proper businessman. You don't become a billionaire if you're not sharp, you know. Jim Ratcliffe is a proper businessman at the end of the day. They're not. The Glazers were given the business from their father at the end of the day. Yeah. Lies around me. Also, Ten Hag in 2 years, 4 finals, 2 trophies. Last year, 45 central combination. Exactly. Plus Sancho, Anthony Maguire, etc. issues. He did this with half stuff going on. Exactly, mate. And then he goes and outplays Manchester City in the FA Cup final. And don't tell me Man United shouldn't have beaten Man City in the Charity Shield. They should have won 3 or 4-1 at the end of the day. He's outplayed Manchester City twice at the end of the day. He went there with a half-fit team in the FA Cup final and still won the FA Cup. Guys, if that doesn't show you what a good manager is, then I don't know what will at the end of the day. Man, them see Ronaldo, see Totti, Pirlo, and they rate Odegaard and Saka. Exactly, Mark, mate, when we won the Champions League, look at that Inter Milan team, look at that Juventus team, look at that Bayern Munich team that we won it against. For heaven's sake, even looking at Bromby team, look at that Barcelona team, we couldn't even get out of the group. That Barcelona team with Rivaldo, with Luis Enrique, you know, that Barcelona team, Philip Cocu, you know what I mean? It's madness when you think about it, and they don't understand how good football was. Every team had ballers. Every team. They rate Saka. They rate Martinelli. Come on, Odegaard. Mate, these guys wouldn't get in our squad in the 90s. They wouldn't. I'm being totally honest with you. My goodness, these guys, oh my goodness. Martinelli couldn't lace Jadon Sancho's boots, mate. He couldn't. Do you think Martinelli would go to Dortmund and rip it up? He wouldn't. Even though I'm not a big fan of Sancho, and I would say even Sancho, he's not on Garnacho's level. Garnacho's ripping it up in the Copa America, winning titles for Argentina. Do you know what I mean? Fact. Big up, Sam. Big up yourself. Thank you so much. Hayden. Best was the top player. George Best was an absolute baller, mate. And you know what the funniest thing is? Us Man United, we respect legends. And we never criticise legends at the end of the day, right? And at the end of the day, I speak it as facts. I get palmerised. I get criticised because I said that Dennis Bergkamp couldn't lace Eric Cantona's boots. Dennis Bergkamp could not lace Eric Cantona's boots. But we keep quiet. We don't talk about what Eric Cantona achieved, where he came from, how he brought Man United up and elevated Man United to a level. He elevated Man United. Dennis Bergkamp couldn't even get on a plane. I ain't getting no plane. Garnacho is getting better and better. Yeah, exactly. He's getting stronger and stronger. And you can see that how strong he's getting as well. You can see how tough he's getting as well. Absolutely. You can see that. Trust the process, fans. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Mate, listen, we're raising a generation of flipping failures, for goodness sake. We're raising a generation of failures. It's okay to come second place. It's okay. It's okay. Look, listen, this is the Premier League. You win trophies. Man United comes second. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer comes second. At the end of the day, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer came second. So what? Jose Mourinho came second. So what? They don't big up Man United then, do they? They're not like, oh, Man United came second though. That's really good, isn't it? It's not, I want to win trophy. Do you know what? In 1995, when we lost the league to Blackburn, I was devastated. I didn't care if we came a point within winning the league. I don't care. I was devastated. We're raising a generation of failures, and I would rather come 10th and win the FA Cup and the League Cup and come second without no trophies. Football is about trophies. You only compete for the League Cup, the Premier League and the FA Cup in the league in England. That is it. There's only 3 trophies to fight for. We had one of them, one of the major ones last season. We had one of them the season before. Arsenal had none of them. Arteta won the league with Emery's team. And these people want to overrate these players. Let's see Pep and Arteta win the Premier League with Tom Cleverley and Anthony. Exactly, mate. Exactly. Manchester United would have won the Champions League if we didn't have the Glazers in charge. Roy Keane said it. We never went on and we never improved. We win the league, but we didn't needed to improve. We needed a squad. We lost Cristiano Ronaldo. We replaced him with Gabriel Obertan and Michael Owen. For goodness sake, Antonio Valencia, fair play to Antonio Valencia. Great player, versatile player. But we never replaced Cristiano Ronaldo. And we're getting to Champions League finals, guys. Comfortably. But when we play a team like Barcelona, we didn't have the squad. Fletcher gets injured. Fletcher get injured, and we didn't have anyone to. Fletcher gets suspended, and we didn't have anyone to replace Fletcher in midfield. So we have to play Ryan Giggs in the centre of midfield against Iniesta and Xavi. So we can't compete. That is down to the Glazers, and this is the whole thing. But Sir Alex Ferguson still won the league. Still won the league by 10, 15 points against Manchester City. No one has won the league like we won the league, you know? And we won the league with kids, for goodness sake. Do you know what I mean? If Sir Alex Ferguson wanted to, he could have went out and spent $1 billion. He didn't though, did he? 84 likes, big up yourself. Guys, let's get to 100. Guys, big up. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to smash a like, guys. Absolute love to you all. I watched Best every home game. He was a one-man team. I've never seen anyone that's good. Match of the day only recorded United about twice a season back then. Yeah, and 75% of his career wasn't shown. Exactly. We heralded Pele as one of the greatest players of all time. But did you know, half of his goals were not even recorded. Some of those stats could have been made up. You know, but we got George Best, and we see it with our own eyes, how good George Best was at the end of the day, and people, we don't disrespect our legends at the end of the day. But other people love to downplay Man United's legends, right? They love to downplay United's legends. I will never turn around and say, you know, out of the blue, do you know what though? He wouldn't even make my top 5 team. Tony Adams, you know, he was rubbish, you know. Tony Adams was rubbish. Oh, you know, John Terry, he was rubbish, you know. John Terry was rubbish. I will never do that because I know it's not true. You know, I know it's not true. I would say that Vidic was better. I would say that Stam was better, but I wouldn't call them rubbish. Like Bergkamp, I would say Cantona was better. Do you know what I mean? If Bruno Fernandes played for Arsenal, if Bruno Fernandes played for Man City, people would be talking about Bruno Fernandes as the Ballon d'Or, for goodness sake. You know what I mean? For goodness sake, the thing is, we score goals, right? I'll give you an example. There was a goal by Dennis Bergkamp against Newcastle where he flicked it and he turned, and it was a great goal, and he went past the Newcastle player and bent it in a corner. It was a very good player, very well improvised. But Manchester United have scored goals like that for years. But they never get mentioned on the top 10 goals, the top 5 goals, etc. You know, and this is the hatred that they have for Manchester United. Now it's up to us as Manchester United to use the hate, to use the bias to our advantage and use it as fuel to our fire. That's what we need to do. Hayden, to pick the best Manchester United team of all time is extremely difficult because of the world-class players you have to leave out. Yeah, it's very difficult, mate. It's very difficult. I would love to pick my greatest team of all time. It is very difficult. I got an idea when it is. I've got an idea. And yeah, there's some shocks in there that you wouldn't expect. But yeah, they are the greatest team of all time. Like, for example, the Premier League. Let's think about the Premier League team of all time. If you don't include Cristiano Ronaldo in the greatest Premier League team of all time, you are just gassed. You don't know what you're talking about. The guy scored 40 goals from the wing. From the wing, he scored 40 goals. And they're saying, well, I think Thierry Henry was better. Thierry Henry was absolutely schooled by a young Cristiano Ronaldo at Highbury when we won 4-2. Even John O'Shea showed up, bloody Thierry Henry. They need to quiet down on Thierry Henry. We only lost because Cantona was suspended. That's the only way they could stop us. Yeah, exactly. The only way they saw us, Cantona was suspended, and I actually agree with what Cantona did. And Cantona, what he did, he defended his family's honour. Absolutely. Every man would do the same. I question you as a man if you don't do the same. It was absolutely. Winning trophies is all that matters, Stephanie. Absolutely. Good morning, Stephanie. Long time no see. I hope you're doing well. Long time no see. Take it all, we have hate Arsenal. Yes, 100%, mate. I don't like Arsenal. At the end of the day, I'm fed up with seeing them talking about Man United players, talking down to our Man United players, these pundits, these so-called pundits. Fair play to Flex on TalkSport. Watch it. It was very, very well articulated. He did very well to back up United passionately. And he admitted he was wrong in regards to Ten Hag, which I actually respect. If someone could turn around and say, do you know what? I was wrong in regards to Ten Hag. He is a good manager. He can concentrate on the team now rather than concentrating leaks on the roof, as Jim Ratcliffe said. My prediction is 4th place and the FA Cup. I think we'll get higher than that, Kenny. Actually think we'll get higher than that. Believe that. I think we'll challenge. I never rated Owen post-Liverpool, being honest. That Scouser never deserved that number. No, he didn't deserve that number, mate. He didn't. And at the end of the day, he was never the same when he got that injury. After he got that injury and his pace went, he was never the same he was never the same player at the end of the day. He relied on pace and he lost that. I'm not a big fan of Owen. He's never said anything nice about Man United since he's left Man United. I mean, he's always going to be a Scouser, isn't he, at the end of the day? We have to admit that. Mctominay is not replaceable, but upgradable. Mctominay is upgraded. Sniper Man, big up yourself. You're back again, my friend. I played your video yesterday. You were not even here, my friend. You're not even here. I played your video yesterday. I've done what you said to do, mate. You let me down, my friend. You were not on the chat, my friend. There needs to be a sin bin for I'm going to call it the sniper bin. Brian Faskett, James, and on the crap pitches in them days. Exactly. Mate, oh my goodness. I went to Bolton, right? I went to Bolton back in the day when we won 6-1. And the pitch was an absolute nightmare. It was bobbly. The pitch. Sometimes they'll get the camera to align with the pitch and they'll do a low shot. And you see the ball going blum, 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 blum. You know? Mate, proper football. But yet you had players like Cantona who could still control the ball, who could still control the game, of course. It's funny that this generation, they parade second places medals, exactly, around their necks. But in Manchester United, player would take it off with a quickness. Teams that came second and start getting gassed. Exactly. Jose Mourinho threw a second place medal in a crowd. And they're bigging up Arteta like he's some sort of genius. For goodness sake. It drives me mad at the end of the day. And there's this thing about Arsenal that the media just love so much. They get right up Arsenal's, you know what? You know what I mean? Let midfield, not the wing. United played 4-4-2 that season. Left midfield, the wing, he played left midfield and he scored 40 goals, mate. 40 goals from left midfield. And and these guys don't want to put him in their top player of the season, Cristiano Ronaldo. Mate, Henry didn't score the 40 goals in the season, do you know what I mean? He won the Ballon d'Or for Manchester United. The Ballon d'Or. And these guys want to downplay our legends and say that he was not even in their Premier League 11 all time. He didn't stay in the Premier League long enough. Guys, these guys are gassed, man. Honest to God, these guys are gassed. Kevin, good morning. How you doing? Even Toney coming on to Manchester United. No, I don't think he's coming, Kevin. I doubt he's coming to Manchester United at the end of the day. I feel that his wages are going to be too high, $250,000 a week. And they're requesting too much money for the final year of his contract. Saudi Arabia looks an option. It looks like he's enticed by Saudi Arabia. It looks like he's interested. 27 years old, would you do that at your time in your career? England international? I think I would rather stay at Brentford. But you know what? I can't knock the guy if he wants to chase the P. I can't knock the guy if he wants to chase the money at the end of the day. So, yeah. In regards to that. Yeah, and by the way, Mark, winger is classed as left midfield as well, by the way. Yes, guys. I usually say winger. I don't know why I keep saying winger in regards to left midfield. Yeah, I say winger because I remember Ryan Giggs running down the wing. Yeah, right. We are winning the Europa League. Remember, I told you early. Your final packages, United will be there, mate. Absolutely. I hope so. Because at the end of the day, I like the Europa League. I think it's a big trophy. At the end of the day, I feel like European football is legacy making and heritage making, as Jose Mourinho said, which Arsenal don't have. Arsenal don't have their heritage. They don't have football heritage, guys. They have no European trophies. They have the Cup Winners' Cup, and they made a song about it. They 1-0 to the Arsenal. 1-0 to the Arsenal. For goodness sake, they fluked to win against Parma, and they made a song about it in the Cup Winners' Cup, which was the 3rd trophy in Europe. It doesn't even exist anymore, and they're talking about us. They called the Champions League a glorified cup competition. They called the Champions League a glorified cup competition. Guys, can you make it up? Rise around me. If the team says Ten Hag has the skills, help us win the league. We 99% got the players now. If we get Ugarte in, I'm 100% sure. I said it. A lot of people in the chat said it, that we can win the league. We can. We have to believe up here. We have to believe that we can win the league. I believe we can win the league. I'm absolutely confident that we can win the league. Sniper bin. We need a sniper bin. Sniper man, where you gone? Where you gone, sniper bin? Sniper man, where you gone? He's gone missing, mate. He's probably gone to see the video. Big love, Sniper man. We're only joking, man. It's all banter at the end of the day. Oh yeah, it's all banter. We will smash Sevilla. Yeah, Sevilla Sevilla need a good hiding. You know a good hiding? They need one of them. They were fluked it out against Ole Gunnar Solskjaer on penalties. You know what? If we had, like, at the end of the day, if we had a better goalkeeper in regards to penalties, we probably would have won that. Because obviously, De Gea didn't save many penalties, unfortunately. I was there for one, actually. I was at the game where he did save a penalty against Arsenal a few years ago when we won 2-1. I was at that game. I brought my brother to his first Man United game. He's a Liverpool fan. Just imagine my younger brother's a Liverpool fan. I'll have him on the show. Reds musician. Roberto, how you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Any updates on left? Are they to confirm buying any players less than 2 weeks to go? Defensive midfielder is a must to buy. Casemiro can't play full season. Exactly. I spoke at the beginning of the show about Ugarte. Ugarte's close, mate. 80%. Ugarte's close. It's just a waiting game at the moment. We have to be patient as a fan base. He will come through the door, and when he does come through the door, then we can look at our targets. If we get rid of Mctominay, of course, going to Fulham or Napoli, if we can get rid of him, then that would be great because we'll have money to spend on another position on the pitch as well. We have some credit as well. I spoke to Swedish Rumble about a couple of weeks ago. We got money in the kitty in a safe box somewhere, so we can come up with another signing as well. A left back, for example. Kadioglu's my guy. Absolutely, Kadioglu's my guy. Hayden, we lost the league to Manchester City by goal difference, but Manchester United fans don't speak about this. If this was Liverpool, they would demand the title. Second place is not a title. It's not. At the end of the day, we can't. At the end of the day, the league doesn't lie, does it? It doesn't lie. You have to win. Win. I'm not interested in second place myself. I'm not. At the end of the day, you know what I mean? Teams like Man United, teams, you know, you should be aiming for the league and aiming for trophies. Aiming for trophies, I would say that. Aiming for trophies. Good morning, Rainbow Dental Lab. How you doing? How are things in UAE? Hope you're doing well. You're in Dubai. I'm in Abu Dhabi. Yep. Stephanie, Arsenal next manager to be called Arsenic. So Gooners can remember their names, Arsene and Arteta. It's true though. I haven't even thought about that, to be honest. Arsene and Arteta. Who next? Who's next? Arsene, Arteta, and who's the next AR? Who's the next AR? I'm trying to find out something a bit witty. I'm trying to find something a bit witty for you guys. Arsene, Arteta, and absolutely nothing. That's what they're gonna win. That's the only thing I could come. I hope we win against Arsenal this one, mate. Sniper man, I'm with you on that one, Sniper man. I'm gonna take you out the sniper bin, and I think that I want to beat Arsenal, absolutely. I want to beat Liverpool. I want to beat everyone. Do you know what's important, Sniper Man? Brighton. We have to beat Brighton. That's what's important. We beat Brighton at the weekend, 2 out of 2. 2 out of 2. That's what we need to concentrate on. Leading up to Southampton, 3 out of 3. Then we go into that Liverpool game. At Old Trafford. Mr. Arnie Slot and his greasy head. We are going to absolutely smack them up when we play Liverpool at Old Trafford. We have to remember that. We have to go. Lingham, how you doing, my friend? I hope you're doing well. Good day to all Man United fans. Glory, glory, Man United. To all the fans around the world, you are the DNA. You are the engine that keeps this club running. Kevin Donovan, big up Ireland, massive, by the way. Big up Irish. I need to go to Dublin. I used to go and tour with my brother as a musician. Never got to go to Dublin. Bubbling in Dublin. I need to bubble in Dublin. Mate, bubbling in Dublin. That's what I need. Show me. What's the story? Jaap Branthwaite would be a great signing. You see, Kevin, it's all about opinions. You see, we have people who don't rate Jaap Branthwaite. Me and myself, I rate him, but not as a 60, 70 million pound player. He's a 25 million, up to 40 million, tops with incentives kind of thing. He's not worth 70 million. I think Branthwaite has a ceiling, and I think that he can be anything he wants to be. I do believe that. I think he can be anything he wants to be. Being at Everton, I think he's requesting 160,000 a week because he's trying to push a move away. Ten Hag rates him, Ineos rate him. So I'm not going to argue with Ten Hag and Ineos. I just don't think he's worth 60, 70 million. I don't think we can afford to pay that at the moment. But he's the type of player that Ferguson will have looked at because of his age, his profile, etc. Left-sided centre-back is what we need. He will be on the bench. Of course, Licha Martinez is our first choice left-sided centre-back. So Jaap Branthwaite will be on the bench. And it's whether we want to pay 60, 70 million for that, of course. Guys, you keep missing my chats. Which one, Sniper Man? Let me have a look. I said Arsenal, mate. I didn't. I said about Arsenal. I said you're absolutely right, mate. Look, I put it on the screen for you, mate. Sniper Man. Do you want to go in the sniper bin again, mate? I did. I didn't miss your chat, Sniper Man. Absolutely. I played your video yesterday, mate. I played your video on the show last night. I downloaded it. I uploaded it for you, my friend. Goodness me. Come on, mate. Thank you, Sal. Uncle Sal. Thank you, Uncle Sal, mate. Every time we play Sevilla, it's like our team is ready to make mistakes. Hayden, I don't know what it is with Sevilla. It's like a curse. I just think it's one of our bogey teams. I do. The mistakes we made that game with Maguire and David De Gea, that game, it were absolutely atrocious. I couldn't believe it at that time, what the mistakes we were making in that game. It was awful, and it's unforgivable when I think back of it. And the final as well. We should have won that game. The semi-final, sorry. We lost to Villarreal, didn't we? Man, Spanish teams in general, Hayden, we don't do well against Spanish teams for some reason. We won against Barcelona last season, which was fantastic. But when we play like Athletic Bilbao, Villarreal, Sevilla, we tend to do badly. And I don't know why that is. We're just not good at playing Spanish teams. Unless it's Real Betis and Barcelona. We do all right against them, My buddy met Brandon Williams in Ashton. How is Brandon Williams doing these days? Of course, sold by Manchester United. How is he doing? What did he say? Missing Man United? Our legends don't respect second. When they were playing, I have the same energy. Absolutely. But one thing about our legends is they have to stop being hateful in regards to Erik Ten Hag. Some of them need to stop putting pressure on Erik Ten Hag and agendas against Ten Hag. They need to stop doing that, in my opinion. Arsenal fence is good. Yeah, it is now good. Yeah, it's good. It is good. Yeah. because obviously they've been working at it for a couple of years, of course. But Rayo's not good. No, but at the end of the day, I don't think they have a midfield. I don't think their midfield is that good. I really don't. I think they can get. I think teams can get at them. I think teams respect Arsenal too much, and that's proven when they play in Europe because they don't do anything in Europe, and teams don't respect them in Europe. They haven't got that same respect, so they end up getting knocked out, you know, by teams like Sporting Lisbon, for example. It was big up Aegis. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. It was he's cursed with the Spanish teams. Yeah, we are, to be honest, in history, Aegis. We are cursed in regards to Spanish teams. We have been in history. Throughout history, we have been cursed in regards to playing Spanish teams. We have. Sniper Man. I know someone who was neighbours with Ramsdale. God blimey. Goodness me. That must have been a nightmare. My buddy didn't even recognise Williams at first, so he kept thinking if he was the real one. Euro was in Manchester City Centre the other day. I think there was a picture on Twitter I saw of Euro in crutches in Manchester City Centre, doing a little bit of shopping, as you do, injured for 3 months. As Sal told you, he's injured for months at the end of the day, and basically... You know, it's a sad one. I'm disappointed about Euro. I bring in Euro, of course, because it is disappointing. I saw him too. Yeah, I saw that on Twitter at the end of the day. I'm surprised he didn't get barraged by fans and stuff like that. On X, yeah, I think it was quite popular on X. Yeah, it was quite popular. Lingham, we need to beat Brighton to get some momentum exactly into the Liverpool's game. We need to beat Liverpool's. I can't stand the Liverpool's. Me too, mate. Me too. At the end of the day, we've got Southampton before Liverpool. We've got to beat Southampton as well. Obviously, St Mary's is not an easy ground to go to. Let's not forget. We have to beat Southampton. Of course, I believe we will. And then I think we got Southampton first, then Liverpool, isn't it? So we play Southampton, and then we play Liverpool. And then if we beat Liverpool, what a start to the season that would be, guys. What a start to the season that would be if we managed to beat Liverpool. That would be incredible. Big up, Garrett. How you doing, my friend? I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for joining me again. I know you've been here earlier, but I'll just say it again. Thank you so much for joining me. Respect, always appreciate you in the chat. Liverpool, Loserpool, Loserpool, Liverpool. They're all they eat scouse. Was it? Could be worse. Could be scouse eating rats in your council house. I know I won't sing the whole song because that song was quite bad, to be honest with you, on Geeson Park. If people remember the song, they know what I'm talking about. If you've been to Old Trafford, you know what I'm talking about. It was a little bit bad. I know some people are a little bit snowflakes and stuff like that, but it was a song. It was a joke. You know, at the end of the day. But the best bit was, could be worse, could be scouse eating rats in the council house. Sniper Man, you're trying to get me banned, my friend. You're trying to get me banned. What's wrong with you, guy? You're using a swear word. I was about to click on that. If I clicked on that, I'm getting demonetized. I'm getting chucked off YouTube. You guys are mad. You guys. Sniper bin. And that sniper bin is happening, mate. You know that sniper. It's happening. The sniper is coming, the sniper bin. Yeah, I'm going to do a graphic. Actually, I need to download. You reminded me I need to download Final Cut Pro to get this thing. Yeah, I know it's a chant, Sniper Man. I know. I know it, but I'm not going to say the words. That's the thing. I know it's a chant. I had a season ticket at Man United for a few years, Sniper Man. You know, I went to a lot of games, Sniper Man. I did. Yeah. So, basically, it's been a mad one. It's been a great show, to be honest with you. I've gone way over my time. I'm just here enjoying it. What's the story about Ugarte? Kaylee, what's going on? How you doing? I hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Kesley? I hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Basically, it's a waiting game, Kesley, at the end of the day. Ugarte was left out the PSG squad, as you probably know, against Le Havre on Friday. At the end of the day, Manchester United is still trying to iron out a deal with PSG. Of course, there were talks last week with George Mendes, Manchester United, PSG and Ugarte about a deal. So at the end of the day, that deal is a waiting game at the moment. It could happen anytime. Hopefully it'll happen today or tomorrow, but I'm 80% sure it will happen eventually. PSG are acting like absolute at the moment. So we have to wait and see in regards to that. But I'm 80% sure it's going to happen. But, you know, they're digging their heels into the sand at the moment in regards to that. Actually, that Mason Greenwood failed classes in England and came back to United. You never know. You never know. Football's a funny old game. You know, people. You know, there was a quote. I mean, I'm gonna say it right. There was a quote. Have you ever seen the film Ted? You know Ted, about that with Mark Wahlberg with the teddy bear who comes alive. And it's Ted's quote. It was a quote, but and you know what? It may be a joke, but it's an absolute very good quote. It goes by. I'm gonna read it out to you. Yeah, Ted. I'm gonna read this quote out to you. Basically, you could be a talking teddy bear. Talking teddy bear quote. It was a talking teddy bear quote. If I bring this in, I can't find it at the moment, but it tells you, like, basically you could be a lawyer, a mathematician. You can be a talking teddy bear. Eventually, no one gives a damn. Basically, so in theory, what he means by that is that eventually people forget, and that's what could happen in regards to Greenwood. But that is a very sensitive subject at the moment. Morning, Luke. How you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Good to see you. Big up. Big up. Garrett. Greenwood was outstanding this week. Absolutely superb. 2 goals. Brace on his debut. Mate, he's a generational. It's just unfortunate what's happened, you know. And at the end of the day, Manchester United was set to keep Greenwood before, but obviously the fan pressure from certain quarters of the fan base ensured that he never stayed at Manchester United, unfortunately. And that's sad in one way, of course. That is sad. And then there's a young lad who's made a mistake. It's over, and we move on. And I wish him the best of luck in his future endeavours, of course. Great player. And I hope he gets back in the England team eventually. He deserves to get another chance at the end of the day. I believe he does. Will Mctominay with 69 others if he goes? Yeah. I think Mctominay is coming to the end of his adventure at Man United. Many thought he was punching above his weight for a long time. I was one of them. People call me a Mctominay hater, but I just call it the way it is. Yeah, I think he should, Mark. I think he should switch to Jamaica. It'd be England's loss. England can keep those overrated players that they have in their squad. They can keep gassing their players that they have in their squad. Certain players, at the end of the day, he's better than Saka 10 times. Greenwood will wear the number 10 for the Jamaica international break. Let's see, mate. Let's see. I mean, I would, if I was him, I would definitely do that. At least Jamaica, they say that the one thing about Jamaicans, they're real. They say it as it is, and at the end of the day, talking of dreams, I dreamt that the Abu Dhabi government privately got political pressure on our government and city inquiry. At the end of the day, I live in Abu Dhabi, James, and Manchester City are everywhere in regards to when you go to Yas Island, you go to these beautiful places, well, absolutely beautiful. And they have Manchester City megastore, it's always empty at the end of the day. So I don't think they really care about Manchester City, to be honest with you, but obviously the Sheikhs do, and they're what brought them to the success they had. They're the reason that they got that success. Manchester City, even though they tried to justify it as much as they can, Manchester City will probably be a championship side right now if it wasn't for Abu Dhabi, you know. And let's be real, Bailey would still take his sport. Yeah, absolutely. Nick Fadley, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. I hope you're doing well. De Zerbi, brilliant, continues in charge of Marseille, winning first league game 5-1. Yeah, absolutely. And Greenwood was excellent in that game. De Zerbi almost went to Manchester United, of course, but we rate Ten Hag. He's a step above. He's a step above, Nick. Come on, guys. Tribe, how you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing. Big up the channel. Really looking forward to the Man United European demolition to restore our place on the food chain. Exactly, mate. And on that note, that was an absolute, very true point. On that note, I'm going to end the show. We're going to win the Europa League, guys. We're going to win the Europa League. We're going to win the Premier League, mate. I know I'm jumping ahead on myself. But if we don't believe, who is going to believe at the end of the day? At the end of the day, we have to believe that we can win the league. We have to believe it, that we can do a job on Manchester City and Arsenal. We have to believe it. I believe it. And I hope that you believe it as well, that Manchester United can do a job. Ten Hag can create history. I hope that Ten Hag makes all those haters swallow their words. Absolutely. Rainbow, you are a legend, my friend. Rainbow Dental Lab. Don't forget my dental treatment. Don't forget my dental treatment. I'm in the UAE, you're in the UAE. Don't forget my dental treatment. Get the tooth whitener out, get my fillings done, get a nice, lovely pair of teeth. Basically, I want to look like Tyro Malacia with those teeth, because Tyro Malacia has a good set of teeth, guys. Just to let you know that Tyro Malacia has a very nice set of teeth. We don't care about his football at the moment. He just has a very nice set of teeth, as I said to Stephanie a few weeks ago. He has a lovely set of teeth. And I want teeth like Tyro Malacia, guys. I absolutely want teeth like Tyro Malacia. Guys, you're absolute legends. Thank you so much for joining me. I will be back later on for Chatterbox if nothing else breaks. If it does, I will be here live for Sal Reacts. Guys, thank you so much. You're absolute legends. Can't wait to see you later. Take it easy. Have a fantastic Monday. It's Monday. Enjoy it. Another day, another dollar, another Manchester United signing. We hope. Fingers crossed. Take it easy. Peace.